Ladies, are you aware of the fact that there are things that you can do, ways to prepare your body for menopause so that you don't have all these symptoms or they're very minimal? There are ways to treat your body, to support your body through this transition that will make it smooth. So today I'm going to teach you how to support your body through this transition. Hi, welcome to this channel that I created to create community and support for women, single women in midlife. You know, at this channel we provide guidance through the reinvention of yourself. We provide spiritual and emotional support. You know, all the things that you need to have a beautiful new chapter, a new second chapter where you are a new you. Everything that it includes is what we are about at this channel. So today I want to focus on giving you some tips on how to prepare your body for a smooth transition. All right, let's get into it. Well, by the way, I am Sada Sharon Bendelis. I am a mind, body, spirit, holistic health coach, and I support women. I focus on single women in midlife who want to have an amazing transformation, who want to, be the best version of themselves, who say, yeah, I'm not done yet, the best is yet to come. Oh, I'm so passionate about that because that's how I feel. So, you know, I kind of, I think everything happens for a reason, because my first symptom that I was in, I think it was the perimenopause period, I wasn't fully in it yet, was that I came down with fibroids, right? I had a cycle, a menstrual cycle, and it just wouldn't stop. I just kept bleeding, and they found out that I had 2 fibroids in my uterus. And that to me was not acceptable. I mean, I have even if I didn't know as much as I know today, I've always been very mindful of my health and what I eat. So I was like, what? I have fibroids? Me? So I really tuned into what can I do naturally to get rid of these fibroids. So I spoke to a holistic doctor, and he advised me to stay away from meat. Stay away from meat, start a plant-based diet, stay away from dairy. I mean, it was a lot to stay away from, but I realized that those are the things that we need to eat and not eat. Like, that's just a healthy lifestyle. Stay away from dairy, stay away from caffeine, stay away from alcohol, stay away from processed sugar. Did I miss anything? I think that's everything. Meat, dairy, caffeine, alcohol, processed sugar. Yeah. So I had to clean up. And I was already light on the meat. Like, I've never been a red meat person. So I started to only eat fish, and eventually I gave up the fish as well. So now I don't eat animals at all. I stayed away from dairy. I wasn't a heavy milk person, but I used milk in my tea, so I switched over to plant milk and plant ice cream if I wanted it. So I just switched. Caffeine, I'm not a coffee person, so it was easy. I drink tea and processed sugar or alcohol, not a big drinker. I used to, drink wine. And back in the day, I would have cocktails and things like that. But I don't know. I outgrew all of that stuff. So that was easy. And processed sugar, you got to realize that white bread, white rice, white pasta, white sugar, also like all those things, your body breaks down and it becomes sugar. So I had to make sure that I had already switched over years ago to brown rice because white rice made me constipated, white rice, white bread. So that again was not a big deal, but all of that stuff. And I also did a cleanse, right? I did a detox. So all of that, I believe, led to me having a really smooth transition. The fibroids were like a blessing in disguise. Like when I went back to have them checked out, I don't know how much later it was, but it was maybe a year or more later, they were gone, right? So what we eat is so important because these things can grow as big as, I don't know, really. They can take the space of a baby in your uterus, okay? But mine were gone. So another thing that is really important, which I detected, I would get the hot flashes, right? So I would just, be having a great day, and all of a sudden I'm breaking out in a sweat, feeling yucky, like wondering why I'm feeling so yucky, and then I have a sweat. So I realized that every time I was having a hot flash, it was the result or triggered by something that I ate that had sugar, that had processed sugar in it. Yeah, because sometimes I crave chocolate, or I don't know, something that had sugar in it. Maybe it was white bread sometimes, because white bread is just like, oh my goodness. But I noticed that every time I could trace it right back to and it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long. Maybe 10-15 minutes later, you're breaking out in a sweat. So then I was like, okay. So if I don't want these nasty feeling hot flashes, then I really need to watch what I eat. I really need to watch that sugar. And I mean, if I'm prepared to have a hot flash, then I'll go and I say, okay, I'm gonna have a hot flash after I eat this, but at least you know that you're gonna suffer a little bit after you have that sweet treat, okay? All right, so the things that I recommend you do, which became a lifestyle for me, and I can't tell you how much health I have gained from doing these things. So the first thing I want you to do, because you cannot build a house on a shaky foundation, right? You cannot expect a wound to heal if you don't clean it. So I'm gonna ask you or advise you to do a cleanse. And there's different ways to do cleanses. I'll do a whole video on cleansing, but you can get a herbal combination. You can buy herbal packages that will have you take these herbs maybe for 3 weeks, and they will clean out your organs, like your kidneys, your liver, your lungs, like everything will be cleansed. And you need that because we clean everything. We shower our external body every day. You know, we go to the doctor, we have our teeth cleaned on a regular. We clean our house, we clean our car. Everything gets cleaned out on a regular. But our organs, we don't think about that. And we eat every day, 365 days a week. So imagine the toxic buildup, right? And that is what causes the symptoms, because our ancestors did not even know anything about menopause or symptoms. They just knew that one day, you know, the period just went away and they were going to have any more babies. Okay? And because their diet was simple and clean. Even when they ate meat, the meat was the animals that they nurtured themselves, so they were not injected with hormones, right? And all kinds of strange things. So they didn't have symptoms. This symptom thing started maybe 2 generations ago, you know? So detoxing, cleansing is major. It is major. And it should be done every, say, season change, like 4 times a year, depending on, you know, what method you choose. I fast. I do a complete lemon water fast. But there's so many different ways that you can do a detox. You can also just eat fruit for a significant amount of time, fruit and salad. So we'll get into that, but that is the first thing that I advise you to do. The second thing that I advise you to do is to learn how to intermittent fast. So that means you're not going to eat all throughout the day, all willy-nilly. No, you're going to have a window, a eating window of about 7 hours. And during those 7 hours, you have your meals. And after that, you're done. So it could look like something like, if you're somebody who skips the morning meal like me, I'm not hungry in the morning. My first meal is around 2 o'clock. And then if I'm hungry again later, I'll have a next meal at around 6 o'clock, and then I'm done. Okay, done. So this allows your body to properly digest food. It allows your body to naturally cleanse and heal, because your body is a self-sustaining mechanism. It knows how to sustain itself as long as you follow its natural rhythm. And at night, your body wants to repair. In the morning, your body wants to like release stuff. That's why people always go to the bathroom in the morning. It's in release mode, like letting go of stuff. And then midday, it's in digestion mode. That's why it's good to eat then, because things get digested faster and more efficiently. So these are things that we need to know. You need to understand your body. But if you're somebody who gets really hungry in the morning, then you can eat your meal in the morning and spread it out a little bit in a few hours like that. You can have your lunch, and then that's it. Just make sure that you keep your meals in a 7-hour window. It really doesn't matter the exact time of that, and you want to be mindful of that. Okay, be mindful of that. Have really sit down and think about it and experiment and see which window works best for you, the morning one or the midday one. Now, intermittent fasting, if you do the research on it, it has amazing health benefits, because like I said, your body gets a chance to cleanse and get rid of. It knows which cells need to be replaced by new cells. So whatever is going on in your body, like any kind of thing that could become a real problem, like a real disease, is going to catch that. Those cells are going to be replaced by functioning, healthy cells. But you have to give your body that opportunity to do that. And if you think about it, again, our ancestors did not eat all day every day. Sometimes they skipped a day, actually, because they didn't have refrigerators and stoves and things like that. So they needed to eat when food was around, and sometimes that was just once a day. So their body was fasting most of the time, and there were no doctors. They stayed healthy, and there was no aging. Okay, find out. But you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed how things have changed over the centuries. Things have changed a lot. So intermittent fasting is the fountain of youth, if you ask me. All right, so the third thing I want you to really consider is to switch over to a plant-based diet. I know it may be a lot to ask for some of you, but you have to weigh it out, right? Symptoms or symptom-free. And then all the other benefits that come with a plant-based diet. Not only will you probably have less strain on the body, so less symptoms, less toxins, because meat brings a lot of toxins in. It stays around for too long. It starts to go into the decay phase and all of that stuff. I mean, think about it, So consider that. Our body is more equipped and really prepared to digest properly food of fruit and vegetables and seeds and nuts and things like that grow in nature. You may want to just test it out, and if you're going to do a plant-based diet, do it right, because a lot of people do it and they feel weak and all of that stuff, because they think that the only thing they need to eat is fruit and salad. But no, there's a whole range of plants that you need to be eating, on a regular. Just go through the whole range. You can't just stick to a salad and fruit. That's not enough. You need to get the peas and the beans and the nuts and the seeds, because those things have the protein that you need. So yes, I will also provide information about that. I'm working on a book that teaches you how to transition into a plant-based diet. So I really want you to consider that. The fourth step I want you to take is to think about your physical movements, like your exercising, like the way that you allow your joints and your muscles to gain strength. Because as we gain years in this physical body, we tend to lose muscle tone, because we're not doing the things that we need to do to build more muscle and to stay strong. The beautiful side effect is that you start to look better too, but really you want to be strong. You want to be strong because you don't want to fall. You don't ever want to fall and break something, right? You want to be strong. You want to move around. You want to be mobile in your life until the day you leave. You don't ever want to end up with a wheelchair or a walker or whatever those things. You don't want that. That's not how you I know that's not in your vision, right? Your vision for yourself is that you're vibrant and you're moving around this planet with confidence. Okay? So then build those muscles and strengthen those joints. And don't go on a cardio thing, because that just burns your muscles. Okay, that just burns your muscles. You need to do things like yoga. If you don't like yoga, do something like Tai Chi. I mean, Tai Chi is big, because Tai Chi really, there's Tai Chi that's really focused on women in midlife. There's a lot of information about that too, and it naturally helps you to not only strengthen but also get rid of excessive weight. Okay? And all of these things that I'm telling you will help you get rid of that stubborn belly fat that we tend to have to deal with in midlife. All these things are going to take care of that. The plant-based diet, the cleansing on a regular, you know, the clean, the letting go of the sugar and all of that stuff. All of those things are going to help. It's just going to all come together, and there's going to be such harmony in your body. The fifth thing that I want to recommend, even though it has nothing to do with physical stuff, is to learn to sit in silence. You can call it meditation. I do call it meditation, but I don't want to intimidate you, so I say sit in silence, because sitting in silence allows you to hear your voice. We are so distracted these days with social media and the news and movies and entertainment on our phones and things like that, that we completely drown out the inner voice, because it is your inner voice that is going to ultimately guide you to everything that is best for you. I can sit here and give you advice, but your higher power, your higher self knows way more than I do, okay? Knows you intimately. So to get that information, and it's a real thing, it's a real relationship that you have to nurture, that is waiting for you to nurture, is the relationship between you and your higher self and your source. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, if nothing, you don't even have to get fancy with it. Just find a place where you can sit down comfortably. Even put on some really relaxing music. You don't have to, but it works for me. Burn an incense or some oils or something, just something to really like create an environment of relaxation. And sit and just let go of everything. Just let go of the day, let go of what you need to do tomorrow or what you did today. Just let go of everything and relax. And relax. And when you find yourself thinking again about things that need to get done or things that bothered you, just remind yourself that I'm relaxing right now. It's all about peace right now, peace and quiet, peace and quiet. Externally and internally, peace and quiet, peace and quiet. Okay? Do that for yourself. Now, is it the last one? No, number 6 is that I want you to also do an emotional, just like how I suggested that you do a physical cleanse. I'm going to suggest that you do an emotional cleanse. And I will also do a video separate about that. but basically you're going to sit down with yourself and you're going to allow yourself to let go of all the emotions that you are holding on to, all the things that bothered you and hurt you in your life that you're still holding on to. Because we do that. We do that. Some of us do it like a lot. So I'm going to ask you to take the time, take the self-care to sit down and say, it's time for me to let go of that. It happened. Nothing can be done anymore. It already happened. I moved past it. I'm still here, right? I'm still alive. I'm still breathing. And if I'm still alive and still breathing, then I can let it go because it's only weighing me down. And sometimes even adding physical weight to my body. And I don't need that. I deserve to be light and vibrant. And then the last part, the step number 7, which seems so insignificant, but I did a whole video on that, is to have fun. Go back, find out the things that you enjoy doing. Now that you're in midlife, you're single, maybe you're single again, maybe you used to be married and you completed a marriage, you completed raising the children, they're grown. Now you can go back to doing the things that you enjoy so much that when you do them, you forget about everything else. Find out what those things are and go do them. Yeah. So, my dear sisters, I would love to hear from you. Any comments, anything that you're already doing, anything that you already figured out that works for you, please comment below, because this is a conversation that we're having. We're supporting one another. So if you like this information, please give me a like, subscribe to the channel, become a part of this movement, of this community, where we believe that our second chapter is the one. That's the one. That's the real one. That's the one that really counts. So yes, I'm so appreciative of you coming here, spending this time with me. I'm so appreciative of that. So until we meet again, I want to wish you lots of peace and love.